Hello and welcome to COOKBARN Live, coming to you on a Wednesday evening from a very warm and very muggy Somerset. I'm Rich Brown and today we're doing something a little bit different. It's all very, very fishy in the kitchen because today is Fishy Wednesday. So what is Fishy Wednesday, I hear you asking in your millions? Well, Fishy Wednesday is when we cook some fish. Not do we cook one fish, but we're going to do 3 different sorts of fish dishes. Today's very special because we're doing Fishy Wednesday in honour of my Uncle Michael, who's not feeling very well at the moment. He's in hospital. So we're going to do a big shout out to Uncle Michael from Richard and Kathy. Love you lots and I hope to see you soon. So what are we going to cook then, guys? Let's have a look. Well, let's not have a look. Let's talk a little bit more about it because we need to get that camera position organised. Are we there yet, Kath? We're not. I'll just stick it up. Just stick it up. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. What are we going to cook? What are we going to cook? So we've got some smoked haddock kedgeree. It's my favourite. In fact, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be cooking this for our tea. So Kathy and I will be having the smoked haddock kedgeree, and I'm going to be doing that with some beautiful boiled eggs and some asparagus. Then for the kids, for Isabella and Louis, we're going to be cooking some pan-fried salmon with some pasta. We're not going to do cheesy pasta, put cheesy pasta on the menu, but they don't like cheese, so rather than just make it and me having to eat it, we're not going to do that. And then thirdly, we're going to do some codfish cakes, and I might even make some sweet chili jam, just depending on how much time we've got going, because it's a quick show. If not, everyone's got sweet chili jam in the cupboard, so they can use that. I've also noticed a little typo on my graphics, which says Moroccan Feast, which was last week. In fact, it should have been Fishy Wednesday, but there we go. Right, should we get on with it? Okie dokie. So first thing, gin and tonic. I must tell you first of all that today was an absolute rush. I went into town to get some ingredients that I needed, and I got stuck in a massive Somerset traffic jam with tractors and all the rest of it. And I was sat there till about 45 minutes ago, so I had to rush back, get changed, get all my bits and bobs out. So it may not be a smooth running show as you're used to, but let's get on with it. So first of all, I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to show you the fish that I'm going to be using because it is just stunning. So first of all, with our salmon, if I can show you that on our show and tell cam. So we've got 4 beautiful pieces of salmon here from Field and Flowers. It's their catch of the day. Absolutely gorgeous, Loch Lomond salmon. And then we're going to be using, my favourite thing in the whole world, smoked haddock. And these aren't just smoked haddock, these are smoked haddock loins, and they're skinless. And then I've also got some beautiful cod. Again, the loin of the cod. Why I like the loin of the cod is it's thick. It's got that big, thick, sort of meaty part about it. And again, it's skin off. And I'm going to be trying to cook all these fishes in a completely different way, just to sort of show you the ways of doing it. Now, normally you wouldn't be cooking 3 different fishy dishes at home, so it is complicated. We've got to get all the timings right so it all sort of ends up on the plate at the same time. So let's start off. So I'm going to start with the kedgeree because I need some rice cooking, and that's probably the longest thing that it takes to cook. So I'm going to go into the center pan here. I'm going to get rid of my my lid because I don't need that. And we're going to be going for, if you watch the programs, you'll know we use a lot of ghee butter, which is this is the sort of butter that you use in Indian cooking, and it's really, really good. It doesn't burn. So what we're going to start off with, we're going to put the pan on. We're going to put some of this ghee butter in. Now, I'm going to put in a fair old amount, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because I want to fry some onions up in that first. Now, like everything we do on COOKBARN, these aren't recipes that we've stolen out of a cookbook. These are things that we make all the time, and as I say, they may not be exactly like kedgeree if it was going to be served to you by a 150-year-old Scottish lady. But it's our version of it, and we like it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to move my fish out the way so I've got some space. So I'm going to roughly chop up a little onion. So as you know, I do love my red onions. So I'm just going to do a quick chop up. I'm actually going to chop this up quite finely. Because I'm going to be cooking the rice. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be cooking the rice in the way that I normally cook rice for an Indian meal. So I'm going to be cooking it in some butter first, and then I'm going to chop these up quite small. Probably won't be able to see all this, but and again, these are the sorts of things I would have done beforehand. Because watching me chop up an onion, I want to say hi to my cousin Becky who's watching. Hiya, Beck. We were just saying how long it was since I last saw you, and I think it was possibly on the beach in Weymouth. Well, I saw your kids on the beach in Weymouth probably about 10 years ago. So, right, so I've got, this is what, just one little tiny onion. That's going to go into my pan. And I'm going to be really tidy today as well. So, that's in there. And I'm not going to cook that too much. I'm going to put the rice straight in. So I've already measured out. So I've got a small cup of rice here. As you can see, it's a sort of a level cup. That's going to go into my butter. And I'm going to give that a stir around. And I'm going to start cooking that. And what I'm going to look for on that is the change of colour. As you probably remember, it's all about the change of colour. Next thing is I'm going to start cooking some of my fish. So I'm going to need a little pan here. Now what I'm going to do is, I say, I'm going to cook the fish in different ways. I'm going to pan fry the salmon in some butter and some lemon. I'm going to poach the smoked salmon in some water because I want to use the water in my kedgeree. And I'm going to steam the cod in some milk, and I'm going to do that in the microwave. So first things first, what did I say I was going to do? Oh, I'm going to steam the smoked haddock. So I've got a little bit of water here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of water in my frying pan. I do apologise for the state of my my hob. As you can probably see, there are two bits missing on the pan holder. Hob's a year old. Bought it from, where did I buy it from, Kath? Cookology. It's a year old. Will I say any more? Will they give me a new one? No, they won't. So I've got my pan of water going. I'm going to put my 2 fillets in there. And what I'm going to do, just to give us a little bit of time, is I'm going to put a little lid over that. So that's just going to heat that up a little bit quicker. Right. Next thing, I'm going to poach. So I'm just going to get a little dish out. I'm going to poach now my cod. So I'm just going to get rid of this in the sink a sec. Because I'm clearing as I go. I'm going to poach that in a little bit of milk. And again, I'm going to use the milk afterwards as part of my sauce. So a fair old amount of milk in there. This is going to make a right old state of the microwave, I'll warn you now. But a little bit of pepper in that. This is going to go in the microwave, and in the microwave I've got a little one of these dish things. I did have, I think it's up there now. One of these things, and that's really good for poaching. It's got a couple of little holes in it, as you can see, and that's going to go over the top. Hopefully stop too much mess, and I'm going to put this on for, I don't know, 5 minutes. So we've got our rice cooking away there. I'm going to put this on a bigger heat because it's just not doing what I want it to do quickly enough. Turn that one off. Right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have a look at our wine because I'm getting a little bit thirsty. So today I've bought something really odd. I was in Marks and Spencer's this afternoon, and I noticed that there was a Chenin Blanc, Stellenschollen from South Africa. Let's have a look at it on the show and tell. This is a Marx's Classic number 5. Now, the reason I bought this is because back in the day, before I sort of knew anything about wine, Kathy and I used to just pretty much drink red wine. I think we started enjoying wine really when we came over to Spain and started drinking Rioja and red wines. But we always used to drink white wine, and we always used to drink a Liefrau milk, or I think we sort of evolved into a Chenin Blanc. And I've always known that Chenin Blanc was a nice grape, and I've always really enjoyed it. But again, it sort of just sounds a little bit sort of teenagery. So it's £9. Let's crack it open. Let's just have another quick look. Shall I have another quick look at it while I'm... There we go. So it's a Classic number 5, Chenin Blanc, Stellenbosch, which I believe is a vineyard in South Africa. Let's have a look. Oh, now we're going to turn down our haddock because it is going for it now. And we're going to give our rice, another cook round. Now you can see that's changed completely colour now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take it off the pan a minute, and I'm going to put 2 cups of water. So I'm going to go over to the sink twice for this, and these are going to be full cups of water. Get that back on there, put that in. That's 1. There's another one. And we're going to get that cooking away. Now this is going to take as long as it takes for that water to boil off. So we'll get that cooking. Right, well, what are we doing next? We've got our salmon, our smoked haddock cooking for the kedgeree. We've got our rice for the kedgeree. We need to boil some eggs for the kedgeree, so I'm just going to put a little pan on the side here. Let's get that water boiling first. Actually, you see, my hob is so rubbish here, I'm going to have to do it on this one. There we go. So I'm going to get that water boiling, and I've got some, again, we try and use really nice products, so I've gone out and bought some of these Clarence Court Burford brown eggs, and they are delicious. And what we're going to do is we're going to sort of soft boil those, and we're going to have those over the top with some asparagus. So next thing, so we've got our cod cooking away, our potatoes. So I took the liberty, because I know you don't want to watch me peel potatoes, so I've actually made these potatoes already. You can see those. I've cut them up, I've boiled them. They're Maris Piper potatoes. I'm going to get my big dish out, and I'm going to get my favourite implement in the kitchen. If you don't know what this is, guys, this is I'm just going to show you on the show and tell cam. This is a potato ricer. If you have anything other than a sharp knife in your kitchen, this is the other thing you ought to have. It's a superb bit of kit, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to probably try and do it close up for you. I'm going to show you exactly what it does. So let's put that away. Okay, so little spoon out, or big spoon out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open that up. Well, Becky, the wine, the wine is for both of us. We always do a couple of wine tasting sections in the show. You know me, I do like cooking with a bit of wine, and I like cooking with a bit of wine. I like cooking with a bit of wine, and I like drinking a bit of wine while I cook. I think during the lockdown, everyone started appreciating food a bit more, appreciating wine, staying in rather than going out to the pub. So I hear that there's quite a lot of good wines that are now being bought. There's some good programs online. I was telling everyone about a company that I joined called Naked Wines. They do a subscription box, so you pay X amount of money per month, and depending on how much you pay, you get some really, really fantastic independent wines from all around the world. You actually get to know the wine producer. Right, there we go, that's done. So, and what I can guarantee from that is that you'll have mashed potato that hasn't got any lumps in at all. So let's put that away. So we've got our mashed potato, that's good. So I'm just going to check now. I'm going to get my, just going to check whether this cod is cooked or not. Is it cooked? Oh, yeah, I think it is. But I'm going to leave it in there just to steam it off a little bit. What I also cooked earlier, again, because it was a little bit boring for everyone to watch, was a big mug. I'm going to show you on the show and tell. A big mug of peas. So do some turning down because we're getting a bit carried away with ourselves there. So I need a sieve. So I'm going to get my sieve, and I'm going to sieve these into there. Right, what I'm going to do with these peas is I'm going to be using these in the kedgeree, and I'm going to be using them in the fish cakes as well. So about half of them are going to go in there. I've also got some coriander. So I'm going to get probably half of my coriander out, and I'm going to go over to the old herbaria and get myself some parsley, because parsley is the herb that goes with fish fantastically. So I'm just going to cut off few leaves of that. I'm going to cut this in. Again, as you know, we do things fast here. We're not chopping things up really finely, but we're going to. So we've got some parsley and some coriander that's going to go in there. And then we've just got a few other little ingredients that are just going to make things a little bit nice in there. So what have we got? Let's get a little spoon. I'll show and tell these to you as we put them in. So we've got some Dijon mustard. So this is the Dijon mustard that you can see from inside. It's the thin Dijon mustard. So we're going to put a spoonful of that in. I'm going to put that spoon away. We're going to put a spoonful of horseradish sauce in here. So again, another little sort of horseradish sauce. That's a Trackments one from our friend at Field and Flowers. Trackments, very, very nice. And finally, we're going to put some capers in. Now, I don't normally have capers in the fridge, but Lisa Marie was here last week. She brought some capers. She left them with us. Haven't ever really cooked with capers, so I'm going to be a little bit delicate with them and do a little bit of tidying up. And just need to cheers on the gin a minute. I hope everyone's getting on okay, and I know Izzy's having a few problems. Right, let's just check everything's going okay. Right, I'm going to put my eggs in now, so I'm going to put two eggs in here. So I need Kath, I need you to put your timer on. We're going to cook these for 4.5 minutes. So I'm going to get my little egg thing. So if we can start the timer now, Kath, 4.5 minutes. Go, right, we've got 4.5 minutes on those. And then last thing in my well, I've got our capers to go, yeah, I'm just going to chop these capers up, quite small. Capers go with fish really well. They're used in tartar sauce. So some capers in there, and then I'm going to get this lemon, chop the end off it, and we're going to put a good old squirt of lemon in that. There we go. Right, I think my haddock is done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that haddock off and leave it in the pan. Do my tidying. Right, so I've got this lush mix in here. So this is our fish cake mix. So we're going to give this a stir around. Right, it's smelling good. It's smelling superb. Everything else is going good. Let's just have a look at that rice. Oh yeah, it's looking good as well. Now, I'm going to take my cod very, very carefully out of the microwave. It's going to be bloody hot, I'd imagine. Let's put that in there. Right, let's take the cod out of the microwave. Now what we have, I'm just going to show you this in the show and tell a minute, is we've got the cod being cooked. You see that? A little bit of fishy milk in there, so that's going to go in over the top as well, just a little bit. I'm not going to put it all in. And then, as we've said before, this is skin off, so there's no skin on it. So that does that work on the show and tell? Yeah, there we go. So that's going to go in. That other piece of cod's going to go in. That piece there, and I'm just going to whiz it up. So I'm just going to stick this in the sink in a minute. It's very, very hot, so I'm just going to move over here. Oh, I've forgotten what else am I cooking, Kath? Oh, I'm cooking the salmon as well, aren't I? So we need to get the salmon on in a minute. So how's that going? Right, let's give this a stir around now. So we're gonna integrate all the bits in there. It's a little bit wet, but that's good. Now, last thing in there, obviously, a little bit of salt and pepper. I normally try things before I put them in there. But these are going to be deep fried in a bit, so a lot of pepper. We do like a lot of pepper. Okay, I'm going to mix that round. And then we're going to leave this for a moment, and then we're going to start deep frying that in a bit. So, kedgeree doing well. Yeah. Right, now kedgeree is basically a rice dish that has some fish in it, but it's flavoured with some curry powder. Now, if you remember last week when I needed curry powder as well, I'd forgotten to bring it, and I've forgotten to bring it again. So we're going to have to sort of make our own curry powder, which is fine because I've got my bags of spices here. I'm just going to do a little bit of clearing up, get some stuff out of the way. There we go. I've got my bag of curry spices, so I'm not too worried. So let's see what we're going to put in here. So, well, we want it to be a little bit of a yellow colour. So, of course, we've got some turmeric. I don't know if you can see that, but it's the very yellow spice. So that's going to go in. We're going to put some cumin in. Now, I always put half the amount of cumin as I put coriander in. So I'm going to put sort of a, I don't know, third of a teaspoon of cumin. I'm going to put a whole teaspoon of coriander. Now, you can hear that, but that's now fizzing away in there. So we need to get to the point we're going to be taking it off now. And this is some masala. So this is so let's get rid of all these out of our way and let's give that a stir. Let's come over here. Right. Oh, oh. Right, how many eggs doing, Kath? 11 seconds to go. So stirring that round. Oh, that smells absolutely stunning. Right, so what we're going to do next, we're going to pan fry some of our salmon. So I'm going to move now. We've got our haddock can go over there. That's beautiful. So, and in the meanwhile, I need to be cooking some pasta because we're going to be doing our another saucepan. I think out of here. We're cooking our pasta and we're going to be steaming our vegetables. Now I'm going to show you a nice little contraption that I have here as well, which is a steamer with some saucepans on the bottom, which I can do an awful lot with. So, are those eggs ready to come out yet, Kath? Right, eggs are good. One of the things with eggs, we don't want these eggs to be overboiled. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them in a lot of cold water now, in the sink. And get rid of the hot water in there first. Really day-seasoned cold water. And then I'm going to show you a trick about how you peel eggs as well in a second. So what that's doing is that's actually cooling them down and stopping them cooking. So hopefully if we got them right and they're a little bit runny, that should be good. So I'm just going to leave them over there for a second. Right, I'm going to get some water in this pan here for my pasta. So let's get a bit of water in that. Let's get that boiled up. Off to Pilates, Becky, are you? Fabulous. Well, have a good time. Thanks for joining us. Right. So I've got a pan of water on there. We're going to put some salt in that. And then we're going to get some butter. So we've got some lovely butter here. Again, my favourite butter, Longman's butter from Yeovil, just down the road from you, Becky. So we've got a fair old smat of butter there. Let's put that in. And because this is normal butter, we're just going to put a little bit of oil in with it so it doesn't burn. So there we go, a little bit of oil in that. There's quite a lot of butter there. Right, next thing, we're going to get some stuff out of the way. All right, so we've got our kedgeree still cooking away. Yeah, is that still cooking away? Yeah, it's still cooking away. That's lovely. So, what else do we need? I need to get my list out for my... Okay. Right, I need to put a little bit of lemon with this kedgeree. So, there's a little bit of lemon in there. I'm just going to get it a little bit drier. And that's going to come off. And what we're going to do with that, see that well enough, we're getting a bit messy here now, aren't we, Kath? So I've got my salmon and my haddock. That's going to go in whole like that. I'm going to put about half of my peas that I've got left. And do you remember I chopped up some coriander earlier? Well, that's going to go in as well. So, and we're going to just give that a bit of a whiz round. I'm going to plate this up in a minute, so I'm not going to spoil the surprise just yet. And we're going to get I'm going to put this in the sink. Oh, I need a glass of wine. I need a glass of wine. Cheers, 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 everybody. What I would suggest, guys, if you are cooking fish, don't cook 3 different sorts of fish. Right, let's just take that off because I don't want to burn that. And let's just season our salmon. So with our salmon, as I'm sure a lot of you know, let's get that out of the way so you can see everything. We're going to fry the skin down to start with. So we're going to get some salt. We're going to put this on the bottom. We're going to get some pepper. And I think actually I'm just going to cook 3 for now, because I don't think I'm going to fit 4 in my pan. So we're going to get these. Right, butter's lovely and warm. And we're going to put them skin down. There we go. Now I'm going to cook these really slowly. I'm going to get rid of that for the second. I'm going to get a little bit more parsley off my bush. Off my parsley bush. There we go. And a little bit of marjoram as well, because I do like my marjoram. Right, let's chop that up. Now I'm sure you're all saying that you shouldn't cook salmon like that. It needs to be cooked on one side first and then turned. Well, let's not bother doing that. Let's do it like this time. Right, bit of lemon, on a little bit of lemon in there. Okie dokie. Right, and we've got our pasta cooking away. Well, we haven't got our pasta cooking away. We're going to have our pasta cooking away. Right, let's do our eggs next. I'm just going to show you a really quick thing about how we do our eggs. So we've got a pan of cold water here, and I'm actually going to keep them in the cold water. Can you see that on the show and tell, Kath, at all? So I'm going to break it. I'm going to break the egg, and then I'm going to peel it underwater, in the actual water here. And what you'll find, hopefully, oh yeah, just about cooked. They're quite fresh, these eggs. They probably could have done with a little bit more, but we want them to be runny. I just hope they're not going to fall apart on my hands. There we go. There we go. Oh, how's that going? It's going okay. It's going okay. I'm going to have to put this in a little bowl. So I need a little bowl. I'm going to use this bowl here. And then my egg number 2. Oh, it's getting very warm now in the kitchen. How's my All right, let's peel those off. Let's peel this. I must admit, this isn't going according to plan with the eggs. I think they were a little bit too fresh. Or Kathy got her timings wrong in the gallery. Probably more like it. Right. Anyway, we've got an egg there. It doesn't matter if it's runny. We want a runny egg in our kedgeree anyway. So let's give our hands a quick wash. Doing those eggs. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer with the aid of one of these. I'm going to transfer this boiling water now because it's boiled and it's fresh pasta. It doesn't need an awful lot of time. So I'm going to transfer that across there. I'm going to get my little fryer out of the oven. Get that warmed up. I'm going to get some of my pasta ready. So let's open, and this is just fresh pasta from Marx's. Let's get that open. Oh, my knife stuck to the work surface. Oh, hiya, Soph. How you doing? She's spinning some yarn. Oh, she's skeening. I thought she was spinning a yarn. Spinning a yarn for me. Right, let's get this turned up. Right, that's not quite boiling yet. I do need a sip of drink. It's actually, did I tell you what this was like? It's not great. It tastes cheap. It's got that sort of aftertaste to it that I don't really like. But it's cold. And currently I've got a bit of a sweat on, so I'm going to have to go to the sink cam, get myself a little napkin, and give myself a little rub down. Let's put that away, and then let's wash our hands again. Right. Right, so I think now I'm going to be looking at my salmon. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to baste it with this. I'm going to show you on the show and tell. So I've got this salmon, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to baste the top of it. Salmon isn't very nice if you overcook it, I've found. So Now what I am going to do when this is finished is I'm going to deglaze it with some wine and put a little bit of cream in it and make a little bit of a cream sauce as well. So I'm going to serve up my kedgeree now. So I'm going to get a bowl out. What I did want to do, if I've got time to, yeah, I have. We got time, Kath, for things? 6:30 is it? Let's just get a little bit of butter in there. And what Kathy and I do love with our kedgeree, and I don't know whether it's traditional or whether it even goes well together, but we do love, when in season, a nice bit of asparagus. Don't we, Kath? So we've got some nice asparagus. This is from the Wye Valley, British asparagus. Always buy it from Britain if you can. All right, and we're going to use about 4 of those. You know about asparagus, where to snap it, where it snaps. So you get your asparagus, you snap it, it snaps there. That's where you want to eat it from. There we go. So we've got our asparagus. We're going to put that in our little pan of butter. Right, our pasta dish is ready. So I'm going to get, I don't know how many of these I'm going to use, maybe 1, 2, so for 4 people. So I'm going to use 5 of those. I'm also going to put the last of my peas in because they'll cook really, really well together. I'm going to turn down my salmon, which is looking fabulous. Give that a little whiz round. I'm going to put a lid on that so it's cooking a little better, and I'm going to serve my kedgeree out. So let's get the kedgeree on. So there we go, nice, lovely bowl of kedgeree. Let's get rid of that. What we're then going to do is my 2 disastrous eggs, which weren't actually that disastrous, are going to go over the top and are just going to get cut into it like that. And then the little final bit that we're going to put on there when it's cooked is this lovely asparagus. Right, how are we doing with the deep fat fryer? Let's get a thermometer on that. We need to be at about 170 degrees for us to cook our. So we're on about 150 at the moment. So we've got our kedgeree doing well. What I do want to do is I want to get one of these pans and I want to get some of our vegetables out. So I'm going to be doing a couple of little bit of steamed baby sweet corn, a few beans with it. Let's get these beans. As with the beans, we've got to top and tail them. Let's top and tail those. And actually what we could do, let's try this a little bit differently, shall we? Let's do this a little bit differently today. So we've got those. We've got our asparagus cooking away in there, and you don't really want to overcook asparagus, you're really just sort of warming it up a little bit. What I am going to do is put a little bit of pepper with that. Yeah, and that asparagus can now go on top of our kedgeree, which we have our first dish ready. So that's me and Kath's dinner. What I'm going to do with these vegetables, guys, is because we've got much time left, is I'm just going to just shallow fry them in a little bit of butter. Quite a bit of butter, maybe. What's that? Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that looks beautiful, doesn't it? Right, so my vegetables are going to go in here. Just going to, again, just get them a little bit crisp. Let's clear up a little bit. Get rid of that and that. Right, as I suspected, I haven't got time to make the chilli jam. So there we go, it's not the end of the world. Let's have a look how our salmon's doing. Oh, it's doing pretty damn well. Gonna baste this again. That does look nice, doesn't it? That's really nicely cooked. I'm just going to put my fork in through that, my spoon, just check that it's properly cooked, which it is. And again, right, so now I'm going to glaze this with a little bit of wine. So my wine's going to go in while it's cooking. If you can see that's the alcohol burning off my wine. I think I have to have a glass of water, can you believe? Right, a warm glass of water. Right, we've got the, now I can feel the heat coming off that pan, so I would say that is probably very ready. Indeed it is, it's too ready. It's a little bit hot, so we're going to have to turn that down a bit. All right, our pasta. Pasta's doing well. I think we can get rid of that. So I've just got a little colander. I'm going to get my pasta. I'm going to tip it out. Oh, there we go. I've got all the water out of my pasta. If you can see that on there, Kath. I'm going to have to turn that off a little bit because it's a little bit too much. And we're going to test the temperature of that fat again. What are we doing? It's going up. It's going up. I've turned it off a minute. Right, what we can do in the meanwhile, let's do our pasta then. So this is for the two kids. This is for Isabella and Louis. Going to be eating this. So what we're going to do first with our pasta is we're going to get a little bit of butter in there. We've got our vegetables cooking away nicely. We've got our salmon, it's pretty much ready to go. So I'm going to put some butter in here. I'm going to put some pepper. Let's move that off the way. So that's got some butter and pepper in it. It's going to have a little bit of cream. Let's get that cream in there. Ooh. I've got buttery hands now, you see. So I can't open the cream. There we go. So good old liberal dose of cream. Let's put that away. Wash my hands a minute. Right, let's see what that temperature's doing now for these fish cakes. Oh, 212. It's high, but let's go for it. Let's keep that out of the way for a minute. I'm just going to give that a little stir just to integrate everything together. Oh, that's looking good. That's looking good. So let's keep that in there. Right, let's get some of these fish cakes in. So we've got our fish cake mixture from earlier, you remember, and what we're going to do is we're going to put these in really, really small. So let's see how this works. So I'm just going to do 4 of these for now. We will cook the rest of this later, but I'm sure you're bored of me waffling away. So let's plate up our pasta. While that's cooking, I'm going to turn that back on actually because we do want some heat back in that. Is that back on? Yeah. So I'm just going to get my colander and I'm going to do a final strain of this pasta. What I'm really doing is just getting rid of some of the excess cream in here. There we go. Got that there. So let's plate this up for the kids. Ooh. One lot. Number 2. Right, let's put that away. Let's distribute these peas a little bit better. And then we're going to take this beautiful salmon out. Let's get a little fish slice to help me. Let's get this beautiful salmon out. Now I'm going to give this piece to Louis because he does like some herbs on it. I'm going to give this piece to Isabella because she's not that keen on herbs. That's going to go over there. I'm going to take this piece out and I'm going to put it on a little plate because that's going to be my supper. Sophie, we have drunk so much of this wine together over the years. It's Chenin Blanc. You must remember Chenin Blanc from the dinner parties in Eastfield Park. Tasted a lot better then, but maybe we just didn't know. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of cream in this sauce. So this is just the butter and the wine that we've been using. I haven't got this on the. There we go. That's looking good. I'm just going to put the gas on that just for a minute, just to warm it up. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to flip the fish cakes. Okay, that's nice and warm now. We're going to just drizzle a tad of that over the top. There we go. And then we've got our little fried vegetables here, which we're going to distribute around like that. So let's get that away. Oh, who's doing the washing up today, Kath? You as always, is it? Right, let's do a bit of tidying up. So there we go. Let's tidy this up a little bit. So our last little bit of presentation, and then I think I need to go and sit in a darkened room, or at least outside. I do have a bit of a sweat on, so just a few leaves onto there. And let's just see how they're doing, shall we? Well, guys, I have to report to you a, which camera are you on, Kath? Number one. I have to report to you a failure in tonight's Cook Barn. Unfortunately, our fish balls, our cod balls, have slightly fallen apart in the fryer. And I think this was due to them being too hot. I will take one out just to sort of show you how bad it is. I know. Do you know what I think it was, Cass? Is I think they're a little bit wet. I think what I need to add is a little bit of dryness to it. I'm sure they're going to taste lovely. We will resurrect these because as I only put 2 in. But I did say everybody, didn't I? What camera are we on, Kath? We're on camera 1. I did say to everybody, it's a really, really hot day. It's we had a bit of a panic on, and we're doing 3 fish dishes. So I don't think we've done too bad. Yeah. So let's have a look. Shall we just have a look on the little close-up, and I can tell you what's going on. You've got it there already. There we go. So we've got some pan-fried salmon that we fried in some butter and some lemon and some herbs. We deglazed the pan with some white wine, and we put a little bit of cream on there just to soften it up a little bit. We fried the vegetables out. We didn't have time really, but you could just steam those. And we've just got some simple fresh tagliatelle with some peas and some cream. My favourite, of course, is the kedgeree. Just love kedgeree. And the kedgeree is basically a basmati rice with some curry seasoning. We've got smoked haddock in that. We've got some very, very soft boiled eggs, and we've got some asparagus over the top. And I think probably the less we talk about the fish cakes, the better. But they did work because we have cooked them before, and I think what the problem is that they're just a little bit wet. I think I put a little bit too much milk in there. But there we go. That's what happens when you cook. That's the fun of cooking. I need to go outside and jump in a very, very cold swimming pool, which unfortunately we don't have. And wonder why I did the fish cakes. A little bit of news to tell you as well. We're not going to do a Friday anymore. We've discovered that people don't want to watch us on a Friday because they're going up the pub and doing things that they're allowed to do now, which was great. Before you couldn't, now you can. So I think we may be changing to a Monday and a Wednesday. But we haven't decided. We might even do a Sunday lunch. But we haven't decided yet. But we'll definitely be back next Wednesday. I'm not sure what we're doing. Oh, I know. I'm absolutely sure what we're doing. We've got Lisa Marie in, haven't we? And we're doing a corn. We're doing a corn Italian corn day. So we're going to be cooking lots of different things with corn. Apparently, it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to be doing some fresh pasta. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the food, guys. Or we will enjoy the food very, very soon. Izzy and Louis will come down and demolish that, and me and Kath have got that little bowl of big bowl of kedgeree. We've got our rubbishy Chenin Blanc wine that we will drink, and yeah, it's been great. It's been really hot, and it's been a difficult one today. I don't know why. I think I just panicked and didn't really think it through. Didn't think it through too much. But there we go. That's live streaming for you. I hope you've had an interesting 3/4 of an hour. Thanks, Soph. Thank you, Soph. I hope it's been interesting. Not our best cook today. We had a bit of a failure with the fish cakes, but there we go. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll definitely see you next Wednesday. Thanks very much. Bye bye.